Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Clumsy Trucking Friday. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Last minute config stuff thanks to Jon Ruda. But I'm happy because I was actually conflicted a while ago deciding if we're going with ETS2 or ATS today. And Lucy posted in Discord saying that Jon Ruda's trucks have been updated just in time before the stream. So here we are. Thanks for joining, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I see a lot of folks are hanging out in chat already. Let's go through each one. Thanks, NL. Glad you made it. Patrick, hey, fancy seeing you here as well. Jesse, welcome back. Nice pics over at Discord. Thanks for sharing. Ooh, nice music. Hey, Oni. Is that... Yeah, I remember trying to pronounce your name before. I'm going to stick with Oni, okay? Let me know if you prefer a different one. First, Scotsman got banned already. Let's move on. I think that guy's a bot. Just kidding. Hey, Revolutions, welcome back. Caso, thanks, man. 8th month. GG. Glad you made it. It's pretty late there, isn't it? Thank you. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. In for a nice drive today. Hopefully. We'll see. Thanks again, Lucy. And yeah, thanks. Glad to hear about the truck. Same with me. I also didn't sell mine. I made a bit of the shortcut. Just tried to reconfigure it and it worked, thankfully. Hey, Alex. Late indeed. Old and late. My goodness, what's happening? Baba, welcome back. Glad you made it again. Any chance those GPUs are starting to become cheaper now in Romania? Get some fans here. It's a bit hot. Speaking of temperatures, how's the weather where you guys are at? I understand the weather has been a bit extreme. Bit extreme. Do those two words mix even in the US? I think in Texas it was very bad. How's it going on your end? See if I missed anyone. Yar, Jack! Thanks for the stream. Yes, like we can blame Jack why I'm late. Not really, but we can try. Hey, Farming Master, let us know if you need help with the mods list. Thanks for joining, Rexor. Welcome back, man. Okay, catch you on YouTube if you're still here. If not, then you might be watching this on YouTube already. Hey, Heroic. How are you? Juke, welcome back. Yeah, Ruda's update came just in time for me. Yeah, a bit late for others, but you'll catch up for sure. Hey, Carls. Hey, Manuel. Welcome back. Frag Doctor, thanks for joining, guys. Game update in a vivere elsewhere. What does that mean? Ask Londonland about the AA. Oh. Right, nice. Yeah, I think, was it Max or Cecil? I think it was Cecil, who is now part of SCS. Because Arias is complaining about the AA, and rightfully so. And he's really trying to emphasize. So I was reading through that in the SCS forums. So Arias was really picking on the AA and really trying to emphasize the problem with it, the problems with it. And Cecil acknowledged it, that SCS is aware of the problem and they're doing their best. But right now they don't have anything to share. So that's good. At least probably, hopefully, work in progress stuff. Download the game, put on the USB flash drive. What is the topic all about? I don't quite get it. Nice. Hey, Oni. Alright, thanks for joining, guys. We can start now, finally. After 17 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, but better late than never, right? Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, share that. That's good. Let's turn off the preview so we get the most FPS out of what we are seeing here. And if you go to the mod manager, the update of Ruda's trucks did calm you down. Oh yeah, I even saw your post in the forums. You were really hating the new lighting. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll check it out here. And we'll try and compare notes, our different opinions. Welcome back, Jack. You get some food? So, any mods in particular? Well, quite a few. Most of the mods are working now, thankfully. GPS mods, photo mode, all the stuff. If you're watching this in YouTube, you can feel free to pause here, rewind, see how I have my load order. I know the chat is blocking it a bit, but you should still be able to see. Sound fix is back. You can see it's doubled. Let me put that here so you can see better. Because this one is the Steam Workshop version. And because SCS hasn't uploaded the 1.40 uploader yet for the Steam Workshop mods, that remains incompatible. So in the meantime, I downloaded this manual local file from the SCS forums. Still by Drive Safely though, so that should work. So we should have the sound fixes back. Of course, Zeemods are here. Cummins N14, Cat3406E, DD60. We have the real company logos. We have the Chihuahua map and Sierra Nevada from Team Reforma. Lots of trucks are not compatible yet though, but that don't worry. Because the important stuff that we're driving with today, the Classic XL by Jon Ruda, is working so far from what I've seen. We will test it out together. I have Sizzle's Mega Pack. I have most of the other mods in here. I even have Traffic Maniacs Traffic Pack here, which was not updated yet for 1.40. I'm not sure if he released anything new, but so far it's been working for me, so no complaints there. AA improvements will take longer to develop. Yeah, true. I imagine it would need a lot of math and a lot of testing, a lot of trial and error. There's the truck. I did check it out a while ago with a white paint job, but I think with the lighting update, like what Lucy was hating on, the lighting update might be a bit questionable right now because SCS is tweaking the lighting, the exposure, and when you have a white paint job, it just makes everything so much darker. It's bad. It's really bad. Maybe I can demonstrate it. We'll see. Alright. So here, everything looks okay, right? So far, so good for me. Yeah, I think in such cases, it looks good. The truck itself, beautiful as always. But if we make that paint job white, I think it might change things. Let's experiment a bit. So if you like make this the main color white or even like a bit gray like that, look at how this looks, okay? Let me maybe save the paint first, this one, so we can go back to it easy later. Because that was my planned paint job. But if you go here, well, it's not too bad here either. Okay, maybe. That's where it becomes bad. The white just like overpowers everything else. Although I think that was a problem even before. So it's not a new problem. But yeah, there is some challenge with balancing the exposure when the paint job is white, because it gets too reflective. So to be on the safe side, and it looks cooler anyway, let's go with no, not that. This one. There you go. There you go. All right. Getting back to chat now. 1:18 a.m. Goodness. Thanks for joining, Frag Doctor. Appreciate it. And of course, we have the DD60 engine in here. Lighting. I do see lights. Oh, interesting. You can see like the red lights from the air filter. You can see them reflecting off the stack, the exhaust stack. That is nice. Lens flares from Jon Ruda updated for 1.40. Not very loud. Chihuahua? What about a Rottweiler? Exactly. Seattle snow melted away. Great to hear, Super, and thanks for joining. Your kids are sad now. Aww. Speaking of cold, right? There's Mr. Dr. Cold. Lighting in ATS looks so much nicer than in ETS2. Ah, that's weird. I wonder why they changed it. Normally they would update both at the same time. But yeah, maybe that's very different. And because we're driving a Classic XL, let's go manual. Make it a bit more exciting. Hit shifter. Make use of my shifter a bit more. There's the gear grinding. Right. Overlay. Overlay should be working. Don't have a job though. Lights. Let's check first the lights. Yeah, those are still there. The lights look a bit more powerful now though. But we'll see that later when it gets to night. It gets darker. Okay. Let's look for a job. Hey Pascal. Thank you. Greetings to Thor as well. Thanks for passing along the message. Let's start off in Fort Collins. Let's make our way... I'm actually not sure. I do want to make our way back to Washington after a long time. Mexico. We just went to Mexico last time and they trying to keep it safe. I don't want to encounter any boats if possible. California. I'm not so excited about going there. This one looks good. 25 tons of dry milk. Fort Collins to Spokane. Passing through Idaho. I like that. Mexican boat is a good load. Please no. Are Ruda's mirrors working correctly? This looks like it so far. Yeah, so far so good. But you let me know if you notice any weirdness, okay? FedEx is just around the corner. You've done that job, that was fun. Fun would not be the word that I would use, but to each his own. What I noticed now right off the bat here, you see the reflections on the hood are much more pronounced. That might be due to the new reflection logic from SCS. Also the flares, I'm not sure if this is because of an SCS update or if this is thanks to Jon Ruda's flares, but it's definitely much more visible. You guys notice this? The blinker reflection, the blinker lights are actually reflecting off the car in front of us. I also noticed that the windshield seems like it's a bit more reflective. Engine sounds are very quiet, aren't they? Let me double check if I didn't tone those down. Those are in the middle, although the recommended from Zeemod is maxed out. Let's see if that changed. If that's more like it. Great. Thanks, Pascal. Appreciate it. Regards to Thor as well. I do have NPI on, yes. I hope it didn't get cancelled out. Why, do you notice anything? 61-ton trailer of limestone earlier from Fort Collins to Alamosa. Yeah, especially if you stopped on a hanging area, right? So we want that. We want Walmart. I think the Walmart one looks nicer. Pepsi, any particular? Oh, Rocky Mountain doubles. Might be interesting. I haven't loaded that in a while. Let's try that. Game looks so good. Oh, cool. Great to hear. Yeah, for me still the NPI tweaks are much better than the default AA, so I'm sticking with it. Unfortunately, when I tried to make a video on it, it was not as obvious. A lot of the quality changes have been made invisible because of the video degradation when uploading in YouTube, so I wasn't able to highlight the point of how much nicer NPI looks. But yeah, when you're playing it, when you're actually sitting in front of the screen and not watching a video but actually playing the game, it looks so much better. Yeah, the reflections on the glass are definitely much more apparent. Probably have to reverse out of here. There you go. The mirrors are working, I like it. The FOV is pretty good actually. Perfect for reversing. That means I don't have an excuse if I don't get this reverse in one go shooting the trailer. Thanks for commending my skills, by the way, guys. Over in Discord, I think it was Babao and Lucy. I was actually surprised to hear that my driving skills actually are not that bad. It's a bit of a surprise for me. There you go. Thankfully, because of the beautiful FOV from the mirrors, reversing is not a problem. I do notice that the sky is moving a bit fast, but not that unrealistic. Sometimes the clouds are pretty low and pretty fast moving, so that's good. I do notice that in some angles though, the exposure becomes a bit dull. Yeah, that's just one of the problems that we get with auto exposure. I wish there was a way to manually tune that exposure, at least in photo mode. Those sounds are so good, so bassy. Trailer hoses. Oh. I mean that one. Yeah, they do seem a bit stretched out, aren't they? Hang tight. It's going to be a long ride. Reflections on the paint job drowns the color too much. Looks like Fernbus Sim. Oh, you mean these reflections? Oh, so you can't see the paint job anymore. Yeah, outside it looks good, but inside it can be a bit excessive. Maybe we buffed it out too much. Yeah, here you can see actually the tail lights, the red light from the tail lights are reflecting off the trailer. That's something I didn't notice before. Pizza, anyone? Is Ron here yet? Save that slice for him. Not actually sure if I'm going to hit anything. It's just here for the blug. Okay, looks like it's good though. Definitely am feeling the weight of this trailer though. Using both ATS beta. Yeah, same with me. I'm on the beta for both games. I'm really liking it despite the shaky stuff from time to time. What's happening? Hang tight. So how's the weather over there now, guys? How's the weather in your area, Alex? Still -16? Yeah, in Texas I heard the weather got very bad. Actually, I think my company got affected. Some of the servers that were based in Texas went down. And I can imagine it's not only my company that got affected. Lots of people in Texas lost electricity and water because of the extreme temperatures, I think. Yikes. Hopefully in your area it's not that extreme. Hey Art, glad you made it, man. Nice seeing you in Zeemod stream. Oh yeah, by the way, I was able to watch Zeemod stream a while ago. He streamed and was previewing the sounds he was making for the Scania V8, I think, 4 Series. Beautiful. Thanks, Bao. Oh, that bass. Love it. Yeah. Learning bit by bit through the years, I guess. Sometimes. with a highlight on sometimes. Oh, they're better, more normal. When not attached to a trailer, the hoses seem to look stretched apart. Ah, I see. So it was more stretched a while ago. Hey, Jay. Glad you made it, man. How are things going on your end? Just 0 now. Pretty calm. Donuts, anyone? Dunkin' Donuts. I love that logo. Brings so many good memories. Donuts and coffee. Yum. Oh, just orgasmic sounds here. Getting goosebumps all over if I just stay quiet for a bit and just listen. ASMR. My goodness. I don't think you even need my voice anymore for this. Let's just make it silent trucking. Sounds were amazing. Yeah, Zeemod is a master. And I was surprised. It was the first time I heard his voice, and it sounded like, and you guys know me and accents, right? I'm very bad at distinguishing them. But it sounded like he had an English accent. Did it sound the same for you guys who were able to watch? I was actually expecting him to be American because of how he had a focus on ATS. But it seems like he's English. He's from the UK. Okay, I got it. Not Australia, right? Okay, at least I got that right. It was 50-50 for a second there. Close enough. Scania V8, it sounded very good. The balancing was so good. He paused the stream for a bit a while ago, and he mentioned something about he accidentally didn't remove one of the sounds that he was still testing. I heard that because I was making my coffee while I was listening to the stream while he was streaming, and it seemed like he had like fan sounds triggering randomly, and it was sounding very good to me, but maybe he was still tweaking it out. But I would bet it was the fan sounds that he was still not too sold on about, and he disabled them. Not sure how he did that while playing though. He just paused the game, did something in the background, and it removed it. So he didn't need to reload the game or anything. Interesting. Some tricks of the trade there. Donuts. Doing good, Jay. Doing good. Anyone here watch Homeland? I've been watching season 8 of Homeland because it recently just became available in Netflix here, at least in Singapore. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Homeland is not really my favorite show. I like it sometimes, I don't like it sometimes, but season 8 I can say is the best so far that I've watched from Homeland. And it brings back a lot of memories for me, because this is one of the series that me and my dad shared a lot of. Like we would exchange stories like, oh, have you watched Homeland yet? Because my dad was very much a fan of like spycraft, you know, like the how do you call that? Anything about spies, basically. CIA, KGB, you know, things like that. So he absolutely loved the sneaky stuff and the schemes and the techniques, and yeah, Homeland is plenty enough having lots of those. So we would always share stories about that, and we would always like try and evaluate. Oh, there goes the Jake brake of the DD60. Come on, guys, let me through. Thank you. So we would exchange stories, and we would like rate. Oh, this season was pretty meh. Oh, this season was great. He would have absolutely loved season 8, I can imagine. So every time I would like, oh, I have to tell this story, but oh crap. But then again, he's watched them all now. He has unlimited access to everything now, so I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, that's why I'm really enjoying season 8. More how do you say, nostalgic factor, in addition to just having a great storyline. Also, I love it because it has trucking elements in it. One of the side characters is a trucker. He started off with like apparently he started off with like a single van or a single truck, and the main character helped him out, and now he has his own trucking empire. He now has like 22, 23 trucks of his own company. Sounds very familiar from what we're doing here, right? So a little bit of trucking, and then the main character uses that guy as like a transportation because he has a big truck. So the main guy can hide in the truck, you know, a bit more hiding in plain sight kind of thing, sneaky. And then there, in addition to trucking, there's also a lot of aviation elements in this season. Lots of air traffic controller language or lingo. So here the heading 090, clear to land, flare, and lots of helicopters as well. So it gives me a bit of excitement with how helicopters will be like to fly, because I've never tried flying a helicopter in the sim. I don't know how they work, but I've heard a lot of new, like some familiar terms, some new terms, some like general aviation terms, some terms that are specific to helicopters. So it gives me a preview, and it's very nice to hear. And so far, based on my non-expert ears, they really did a good research on that series. Like in terms of aviation, the language they use, the procedures they would be doing based on the scenario, it seemed very realistic. Like it wasn't at all like just say something and that's good. It sounded really professional and real. Very nice. That show must have a huge budget. Can imagine. Can't wait to go back to the 4 series. Yeah, definitely. When Zeemod releases that, that's the first thing I'll do. I hope we can find a way to make it compatible with 1.40 though. We'll see. Oh, sorry. Australian. Close enough, right? Maybe not. What's wrong with the UK? Nothing wrong with the UK. But yeah, because he was releasing mostly US truck sounds, and he was recording US truck engine sounds, I imagined he was in the US. Well, maybe he is in the US, but I imagined he was from the US as well. So that was a surprise to me when I heard his voice a while ago. But that's cool. And I'm glad that I got the accent right for a change. Extra 20% for taxes for a Dylan clip. Did you buy it from there? Oh man, that's rough. Oh, we should be seeing some nice sights shortly. This is my favorite road in ATS at the moment. No matter how many times I pass through it, it's still jaw-droppingly good. We have to jake brake here. Louder. sorry for the late response. I was too happy sharing about Homeland. I haven't finished it yet, if you can still hear me. I'm in episode 11, I think. 2 more episodes to go. But so far, it has been one of the most exciting shows I've watched in recent times. So good. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. And they have that perfect cliffhanger every single time. Like you want to watch the next episode just to find out what really happened. And what I like about it as well is there is no superhero syndrome, if you get what I mean. With normal shows, you know that if this is the main character, if these are the good guys, then they will be preserved. They will live. They will magically beat the bad guys. They will find a way to power through impossible circumstances and make their way out safely and stuff like that. Here, it's very realistic. If the bad guys catch the good guy is dead. You know, like you're hoping that they find a way out, but no, they're dead. There is no superhero treatment. It's as real as it gets, and it's amazing. It's just very refreshing to find something like that for a change. So every time you're really at the edge of your seat, please don't kill him, please don't kill him, please survive. And yeah, lots of things like that. So no one is protected. Runaway truck ramp? Fancy testing that out? Maybe not. Goodness, Jake braking all the way here. One more reason why I'm absolutely enjoying this part of the road. Get nice sights and Jake braking the entire way down. Yeah, the reflections are not the smoothest because I guess there is a very... I'm imagining technically that the reflections are rendered. Just like how the mirrors are a separate rendering, the reflections are a separate rendering as well. And I can imagine they have their own render distance. And it seems like the render distance for reflections are very, very low. So they don't affect performance that much. But yeah, that's causing that like pop-ins to be a bit more obvious. That's how it appears to me. I don't really know how it works technically, but that seems to make sense. I hear a car. There you go. Let him through. And now I'll try to catch up with chat. Sorry guys, I'm enjoying too much the monologue. Let's see. Helicopter streams. Yeah, definitely. When Flight Sim 2020 releases helicopters, I will get into it. I would love to learn how to fly them. Because I mean, for sightseeing, I think helicopters are better. Helicopters should be able to hover, right? Like you don't have to be constantly moving like a shark. You can like actually stay in place. And you can go lower, fly lower. So I'm really looking forward to that. Even though I heard from Alex that it requires a lot more rudder control. But we do have rudder pedals now, so hopefully that might help a bit. But yes, really looking forward to that. I'm not sure when Microsoft is planning to release that though. But I'll definitely be waiting for FS 2020 implementation of helicopters before I jump into it. All issues aside, FS 2020, Microsoft is doing a good job at it. Many bugs, many problems, but much more good stuff than bad stuff. And now we take a photo. There we go. Oh, nice. Exposure actually didn't go down. I was expecting exposure to be dull. The photo to be dull because of the previous problems we've had when going in external view. So it does seem like they improved it from that point of view. That can be the thumbnail right there. As easy as that, but we can also add a bit of scenery. Something like so. That can work. It. Yeah, that can work. One more from this side. Jaking in tunnels? No such thing. No, but in reality, is it? Well, then SCS should implement that so we learn the proper stuff. Oh, looks so good. Okay, I'm happy. Eisenhower Tunnel. Oh yeah, I remember that. Highest elevation or something, 11,000 feet, was it? Okay, yeah, I got it. Goldfish memory, not so bad yet. Please get an NL for MSFS. Yeah, exactly. That should be how it is in the Bush Talk Radio thing. Instead of having lots of sentences that are too interesting. But I'm sure those will be refined eventually. What? What? Was that for a while ago? Talking through a fan. Oh my goodness. Headphones are vibrating off your head. Is that when we were in the tunnel, Jake breaking? Good to hear. Man, I love it when we're in the low revs. I love the engine sound much more when we're in the lower revs. Beautiful. Rich. Hey, Zuma lover. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. That was going to be my next point. Helicopters can hover, but can you? Yeah. Technically, helicopters can, but if my skills will allow, that's a whole different equation. So, yes, that we will have to see for ourselves, and I'm not very optimistic about that. So, that's going to be interesting to see, though, regardless, right? So, I'll definitely be getting into it when the time comes. Turn up the mirror distance. Maybe it's combined with that setting. Ooh, that would be a good experiment. Let's see. Graphics, I think I toned it down to high. Distance is high. Reflection detail is as high as it would go. Scaling is 200%. I don't see a reflection distance, but yeah, let's see. Ultra, apply, and check it out. Notice anything? I still get a lot of those pop-outs. Yeah, I think it's the same. I think the mirrors improved, but the reflections, I'm imagining the reflections are a different parameter and they haven't included it here, but they might be in the config file. I'm not sure. Bengan will probably get an experiment on that. Hovering a helicopter, reversing. Really? Okay, skip that part then. Maybe just flying lower than usual. Reversing a Mexican boat. Well, we managed reversing a Mexican boat after an hour. Maybe we can manage to hover for a second after an hour as well. Maybe that's as much as I can hope for. We'll see. Photographic memory is a wonderful thing. Who has it? Man, it would be amazing to have photographic memory. Like, what's his name? The guy in Suits? Oh, that's an amazing talent. Doesn't give you everything. It gives you a huge edge. 50 here, right? Yes, okay, let's maintain 50. Looks like the sun is setting soon as well. Beautiful. I love it. That looks so good. Yeah, the pop-ins are not... I'm not a fan though. I'd rather turn off reflections if that's the case. And yeah, the flares are definitely stronger. Yeah, that might need a bit of tuning, huh? Still looks bad. It's much better than... yeah. That looks wrong. I think Jon Ruda will have to refine that. Hey guy, welcome to the stream. Sorry for the late reply. Which one? The color? That's from the GPS mod. Improve LOD at some point. The LOD you can actually improve in the config file. I just don't because I'm scared about the performance impact. And oh, do you mean the render distance from like the mountains? Yeah, that I hope they improve that. The LOD though, the one from the cars, from the trucks, the AI, that one you can change. Oh my goodness, that still looks bad, doesn't it? I think I put in the right files here, but let's double check that in a bit. Once it gets super dark, then the errors on the lighting will become more apparent. Then we can double check if I got the right thing. Tourist Bus Sim. I haven't played it in a while. Yeah. Here we go again. Just a short one. There we go. Yeah, that's wrong. That's still wrong. That's like the old version of the flares. I wonder if I got the new version here. Might have to double check that. Let's look for the nearest truck stop and let's experiment a bit, okay? I don't think we're in a hurry to deliver this job. We just want to enjoy the trip. And seeing all those red lights like that, they're not very fun to look at. Very, very wrong. More than likely being affected by a different mod. Yeah, although before I added back Jon Ruda's truck, or his flares in particular, I got rid of that issue already. So I'm sure that the flares were the one causing it. With this 1.40 update though, I was expecting that shouldn't happen anymore. So maybe there is a conflict somewhere. Let's double check that. Render distance, yeah, true. Oh, that just looks bad. Jake braking in the tunnel. A shifty. Okay. Let's stop at the next truck stop and figure this out. Welcome to troubleshooting stream, guys. Let's see. Any stuff up ahead? I think we're good. The red effect, yeah, looks like a submarine. Just don't look out because that looks so wrong. There we go. Exit 26. Okay, perfect. I think that's this next exit here. Gas. Okay, nice. Oh my goodness. It's really bad. Okay. We'll figure it out. Doing good, man. Welcome back. How have you been? Your flares look fine. Okay. Good to know that it's actually fixed and it's something on my end. We'll figure it out. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay. 1997 graphics. Traffic Maniac mods. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good experiment. Okay. let's stop here. Ish. Sorry guys, I know it's painful for the eyes. Maybe let's not use our blinkers for now. Just for now. Okay, there's the left turn. Is that a real brand? Pilot? Is that Pilot or Pito? Pilot. Okay. Pito Heat. Wonder what beacons do. I'm afraid to find out. Or Sizzle's Trailer Pack 2. Oh crap. The problem is if we disable Sizzle's Trailer Pack, the game might restart. Oh, I would hate that. But we'll have to try it out, I think. Pilot is a real brand. Nice. Now where can we stop? I guess anywhere here. Somewhere where it's dark so we can really highlight the problem. With that kind of strength, I guess you won't be able to miss it anyway as long as it's night. Let's have a look how that looks outside. Is there a problem? I don't notice it. I don't think there is a problem. The brake lights look good. No, they're not. They don't. This one looks good. That one doesn't. So there are specific flares that are causing a problem. Interesting. Highlight the problem. Yes, let's do that. Alright, let's save it here. Let's try the beacons. I just noticed I do have beacons in this truck. Oh, there you go. Woo! What's that? RGB truck equals better fuel usage. Is that why? Yeah, that's all intentional apparently. Alright, let's load up the game again here. Disney World. Hey Gamer Mickey. Come back, man. Okay, let's have a look here. Hey NASCAR. Welcome to the troubleshooting stream. Christmas Convoy. Oh, that's the one. Oh yeah, you're right. Because we came from the same place, Fort Collins. So what do you think could be conflicting? First, let me double check that this flare pack is the new one. Is there a way to check that? 3.0? Let me see. Did I forget to... I think I might have forgotten to... One second. I might have... Okay, so I downloaded the update, but I might have forgotten to extract it. Maybe. Because the old version, this one, is from November 2020. And the new update is from today. So, yeah, I downloaded. But I didn't extract. Okay, that should work now, I think. Let's see. No, don't continue. Let's double check. 3.0, so many mods on a beta. Yes, I'm sure SCS will be proud of me for testing their game so comprehensively. Flare pack 3.0 was before, now it's 4.0. That's the new one. Okay, good. Alright, let's try that again. Hey, frag. Yeah, that would have been great, Gamer Mickey. Oh, maybe next time we can see it. Yeah, apparently I missed a lot of landmarks in in London, especially the Buckingham Palace. Some people were commenting. Alright, let's see if that works now. Rookie. Lights. Lights are good. Blinkers. Blinkers are good. Beacons. Beacons are good. Perfect. Okay. I'm happy. Alright, we can go now. Do we still have the red thing? No, we don't have the red thing anymore. We still do have those flares, but they look much better now. Nice. So that's what happens when you don't update the files. It was an intentional test to see what's changed to the new version. And now we saw it for ourselves. Right? That's the beauty in testing. That's part of the scientific process of the Clumsy approach to testing stuff. You guys want to drive at night? I personally don't. Oh crap, I forgot we had the double. How do I reverse out of here? Hey Hatman. Thanks for joining. How are you? There we go. Alright. Off we go. Let's see if we notice any changes aside from those weird beams disappearing. Just wrecked my trailer, I think. Let's go forward here. This is not good. Yeah, let's try and notice if we'll find some other new things that have gotten fixed. The reflections are still broken, so that's not really an effect of the flares that I missed out on. Is that from my tire? Hopefully not. Whoops. Do we need to fuel up? Not really, still full. That's the tank right there. Coast to coast. Good. Are you enjoying it? How do we leave this area? I think we have to go around. Pilot truck stop. There you go. It's something about real gas stations, I think. That's the name of the mod in the mods list. Let me know when you can't find it, if you can't find it. Yep, still G27. Someone left their tire. How do you call those things again? Tire sheddings? I forgot the term. Real gas stations, that's probably it. Thank you. Tire gators? Retreads, there you go, retreads. So those are like, what, patches that are put on the tires to like renew them, and sometimes they fall off. McDonald's? I'm hungry. Hey, yeah. Might have been a curb. Coast to coast, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. I'd rather keep my map small but have great quality everywhere. The coast to coast implementation is not very much in line with my preferences. Like coast to coast philosophy is putting in the entire area like a placeholder. That means all the areas will have bad road networks, not realistic layouts, very basic stuff as a placeholder, and then they start fleshing things out one by one. So some areas are detailed, some areas are very placeholder-ish, and I don't like that because I don't really know I can't remember which ones are good, and I can't control where I drive, so I want that wherever I drive it looks good already, even if it means I drive in a smaller area. So coast to coast is not very aligned with that kind of driving. I want to be able to just pick any random job and get a nice experience. Actually, even in the base map we have that problem. As you can probably notice, I almost always start in Denver or in Colorado and make our way to the newer DLC areas, and I try to, as much as possible, avoid California and Nevada because those areas are very outdated in textures, in road networks, in road layouts. So I try to avoid them, and those are SCS default maps, so can't really get rid of them. But if I had a choice, I might prefer removing them altogether, just so I can stay with the nicer looking maps. That's the way I would like to drive. Use Logitech G29, nice. Yeah, nowadays the G27 I guess is going to be very hard to come up to find, and I doubt I will be able to find one if this one breaks. So I'll probably have to move to the G29 or even something else, something that's available, like the True Force. True Force. I read a forum thread a while ago in the SCS forums. Someone was requesting that SCS implements the True Force capability, and I read he has like a quick overview on what True Force is. It's the first time I've read it. It's basically like a force feedback 2.0, a much more improved force feedback. At least that's from a marketing perspective. If it really is, I haven't really seen or watched anything about it. But maybe you guys have. Let me know if you've heard anything aside from the True Force. True Force. Yeah. The terms that I've read were very gimmickish sounding, something that marketing would use to sell the stuff, but they didn't sound very realistic. So it would be interesting to hear how that is in real application. True Force, that's the one. Side panel is the solution. G29 is like a toy. Yeah, that's true. The G29 definitely looks like a toy. It is very functional, lots of nice buttons in front, but it does look like a toy. The G27 at least looks a bit more like a steering wheel, a real steering wheel. Although functionally not as many buttons. But I think either way, you'll get a great experience. Anyway, you'll be looking mostly at the screen and not your steering wheel, so maybe that's not going to be a big problem. Oops, sorry. That's a good point, Chuk. Having the buttons on the shifter makes more sense. Yeah, that's true. Even now, we have some buttons in the G27 on the steering wheel, but well, yeah, when I'm turning, I'm always getting confused which is which. Like left or right blinker is getting confusing which one it is when you're turning the wheel. When you're in a roundabout, is it the left or the right one? Yeah, we're headed towards Washington. Colorado to Utah to Idaho and then to Washington. Truckers MP now has a US SIM server. Nice. Nice to hear. Side panel is cool. Jack would be happy with that. And Jay. Use a headset so you don't really hear the extra stuff. What extra stuff is this? On the steering wheel? Excuse me. Hey Jenny! Glad you made it to the stream. Yes. Glad to catch you here. Oftentimes I would see the comments in YouTube. Very refreshing to see you also in this platform. More than welcome. How are you? If your Logitech G29 breaks, you'll move to a Thrustmaster. Yes, I have the same question for me. Did you guys see? A 2-hit combo. We hit him once, we just like snagged him a bit. And then we did like a jab hook or a jab cross kind of thing. A 1-2 punch. The second one, he really flew off. Like, whoa. I saw nothing, that's the way. Yes, that's the right answer. You passed the test. No one saw nothing. Goodness, that side mirror has a huge blind spot. I should really look at the wider one more, the one below. Yikes, that's scary. Woo! Thank you. Clumsy trucking at its finest. The G25 only has 2 buttons on the wheel. Yeah, I was going to say that. I guess you wouldn't have that problem at least. But then you would require a side panel to make up for the missing buttons. Hasn't Jack convinced you yet? But yeah, that's something that I haven't really decided on. If my G27 ever breaks, what I will replace it with, because I most probably will not get another G27. So hard to find these nowadays. And I would like to stick with the Logitech steering wheel initially, mainly for the force feedback plugin, because those are only compatible with Logitech wheels. But then if I get something with a nice force feedback, maybe I won't even need the plugin in the first place. So Thrustmaster wheels, I think some of those are very good, right? And I think the official partner of SCS is Thrustmaster. So I don't know. Jack, I think from what I remember, what you're saying is the force feedback on your Thrustmaster wheel is very nice, and you're coming with an actual experience of how it should feel. So that says a lot about the force feedback on the Thrustmaster. But yeah, the base force feedback on the G27, it's very bad. At least on ETS2, on Truck Sim. On other games, I think it's good. So it's more the implementation rather than the actual wheel itself. Like for the G27, there is a huge dead zone in the middle. Like you get that force feedback as you turn the wheel, but once you get near the center, everything disappears. All the sensation, all the feedback disappears, and it feels like, oh, like you'll be thrown off with it, suddenly disappearing. With the force feedback plugin, that feedback is there as you turn the wheel like this. For that alone, I would stick with the Logitech. But with the Thrustmaster, do you guys have that dead zone as well? Not so sure. Maybe I should start reading chat so I can actually read up some answers. Just finished up a flight. Nice. Where were we flying? Are we there yet? We should have like a sound alert like that. Side panel immune. I think you're also Thrustmaster immune. sticking with the G25. Logitech side panel, that's the one, yeah, that's the one. You're wearing him down? Yeah, maybe eventually. Can make him bite. You won't need a plugin with the Thrustmaster. You don't need a plugin with the G29 either. Oh yeah, that's what I've been hearing. So it's really a G27 limitation. I wonder if it's also in the G25. Alex, do you use the plugin? Or is it good for you? No dead zone in the middle? Force feedback on the Thrustmaster is way stronger and more precise than Logitech wheels. Ah. Also, the wheel is much smoother and the pedals are decent if you get the GT version. Dead zone is 0. Wow, okay. That's making me sold on the Thrustmaster actually. Plug it in. Which one? The Thrustmaster? You don't have that at all with the G27. And you don't think you use an FFP plugin. Interesting. Could it be a defect on my wheel? But no, it's there is a feedback in the dead zone in the center here when I use the plugin, and it's not there without. Maybe that's because of the centering springs or something. The setting. You don't have a dead zone with your G25 either. That's weird. Maybe my setting is screwed up somewhere. But I've read similar reports of people enjoying the plugin because they wanted to get rid of that dead zone. So I'm not the only one. Okay, well in any case, at least the plugin is still working. Maybe I'll try it and see. But yeah, I would highly recommend trying out the plugin, even if you don't have the dead zone. For me, the overall feedback is much more realistic. I've heard that some SCS employees, I can't remember who, even if they're driving and testing, they also use the force feedback plugin. So that's how much they like it. Or is that how much they don't like the default force feedback? I'm not sure. But yeah, that probably says something. Fanatic for the win, oh my goodness. Does Fanatic have like a trucking friendly steering wheel? When I think of Fanatic, I imagine that like massive wheel for racing with that super small steering angle. Like I don't know what it is, 180 degrees or something. Flew down to the US Gulf Coast. Ooh. Was it Scenic? Nice. Alex has a Thrustmaster too. He does, I guess that's true. If he uses it, that's a different story altogether. Alright, thanks Lucy. I'll compare later if I get a chance. Alright, thanks NL. Thanks for hanging out. Always happy to have you here. Have a good night and have a great weekend, man. Catch you soon. They don't, but they have the best force feedback. Hey Jacob, where are the vids? What vids? Nice train there. Was planning to take a photo of it. Maybe later. Streams are hard to catch for time zone. Yeah, I understand that. Fanatec makes no difference in ETS2 and ATS. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's more for racing. You would like this drive. Where is Hey Sparksaw? This one, I guess we are somewhere in Utah. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit. Yeah, that's why I was wondering with the question, where are the videos? Because I post one every day. Are you not entertained? Which movie was that from? Which line was that from? Is that Gladiator? Are you not entertained? Maybe I should have an audible for that. Hey da, glad you made it. Solar wind. Force feedback on Fanatec is just another class. I see. Yes, G27. I've had it since 2016. Few months after ATS got released, I bought it. So what, 5 years now? So far so good. Gladiator indeed. Hey Freddy, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm sure I nailed that line perfectly. Just like what's the name of the actor? I'm trying to go. No, I forgot the name of the actor, but you know him. Gladiator. No, that is a classic. I remember watching that with my dad too. There was a time when my dad was very much into home theaters. He had his own room, and then he had those, I think I told this before, he had those speakers, and he would position the speaker, like angle it 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, turn it a bit to the left like this, and then he would do this like sound test to check if the home theater, the acoustics were correct, and then he would watch movies with them. During that time was when the Gladiator movie came out. So we watched that movie I don't know how many times, for both the entertainment and for the calibration. So that movie really stuck to me. Going straight to a DD wheel, I like it. Built-in jake brake. American trucks, bye. Yes, they actually did. When I bought the G27, it actually got discontinued already. I just got lucky that there was a shop that was still having that like last piece of it, and they weren't increasing the prices yet. So I was able to buy the G27 for like retail, the normal price, before they jacked it up. So you could say that this one that I have is the one of the last few pieces remaining when I bought it even. Not sure I get that, Spark. So solar wind causes short traffic lights? Might be missing some context. DD1 would be good truck wheel on it. Oh, what is DD? I thought you were saying DD as in Detroit Diesel. Is that like a Fanatec model? DD? Russell Crowe, exactly. Russell Crowe, that's the one. Are you not entertained with my daily videos? No, but yeah, maybe he's looking for a specific game, something that I haven't not been playing anymore. We can make him try driving with a 75% feedback. Free gym workout, I like that. Fanatec wheels are on your wish list. $150 now, you can get G29 for $450. Oh, direct drive, no belts or gears. What does that how does that translate to in terms of experience? It's a smoother steering, something like that? It feels very different from like the usual Logitech and Thrustmaster wheels. G29 920T doesn't come with a shifter. Yeah, true. Although recently I've been seeing that the G29 at least is getting bundled with the shifter for like, can't remember the price, $499 SGD, which is probably around 300 to 400 USD here in Singapore. Why is the sky moving so fast? DD wheel is the best you can use. Perfect feedback, but very strong. And which kind of wheels has those? Only Fanatec? Super strong force feedback. Going from Thrustmaster to a Fanatec CSL Elite. Oh wow. Wow. And you cannot tone it down so that it feels realistic but not overpowering. Found a good Fanatec bundle. Give me a ballpark figure how much a Fanatec wheel would cost. And is it like piece by piece, or do they have like a wheel with pedals with shifter already? So I haven't really looked at Fanatec at all, because for me I was always assuming it was only for racing and I would not get any advantage if I use that in trucking. There are many DD wheel makers, all quite expensive. Ooh. Sounds legit. 850 euros is the cheapest one. Oh my goodness. And what does that come with? Oh no! The emoji guy, run! And now the animated emoji guy in Discord. Run faster! How are you, Rohan? Yeah, that's my impression as well. Like for trucking, I wouldn't have thought about Fanatec at all. But what do you guys think for trucking? Does it have any additional benefit? If not, maybe the force feedback, the DD you guys are mentioning. That alone would be worth it, I can imagine. And not only Fanatec, but all those DD wheels. 400 on their website. Oh, that's much cheaper, less than half. Thrustmaster would be ideal for trucking. Nice. Okay, I should start researching on that. If ever the wheel breaks. Hopefully not. I mean, if Alexis has survived that long, hopefully mine does too. Speaking of Thrustmaster, that statement sounded so contradictory, especially that it was coming from... I got squeezed in those two cars. That statement sounded so contradictory coming from Alex. Thrustmaster would be ideal for trucking. Good pedals and shifters are separate and can be expensive. Oh. Thanks, Gamer Mickey. You won't be able to send the link here, and I wouldn't be able to open it. But in Discord is a better place where you can post that, so I can look at it later and it wouldn't get lost. Thanks. Are you sure you looked well? Nice. Gaming chair with a spinning circle with mounts for various steering wheels. Spinning circle? Hard to imagine. Maybe a picture or a video would be better. Post it in Discord too. Why not? Do we need fuel? More than halfway there. The G wheels are around 2.3 torque. Thrustmaster again around 2.4 to 4. What is NM? Newton meters? Not nautical miles, I guess. Fanatec's like 6 to 8. Oh, wow. Something you dream about. I see. Okay, Newton meters. When I first read NM before I got into flight sim, yeah, the first thing I would think of is Newton meters. Now when I see NM, it's automatically nautical miles. Close enough. The clouds are very pixelated, huh? They would have looked nice otherwise. That's a shame. Still hoping they release a higher quality version for us. Thanks, Mickey. Up to 20, goodness. Yeah, office chair is my recommendation as well. Office chair with vampire headrest. This one. Is it still visible? It's not so obvious anymore in my angle, I think. That's just the wheel, the round thing. Doesn't have the base, the pedals, the shifter. That's what I'm imagining. When I hear of Fanatec, it's more like a piece by piece kind of thing. So I'm not sure how the entire thing would cost. Yeah, Thrustmaster I think would be the next target for me. And what is the model that is recommended? Is it like Logitech that there's only one main model at a time? So I think there are plenty as well. Scalper RTX 30 series card. Yikes. A Romania Scalper RTX series card? That might be expensive based on Baobao's accounts. I'm liking the look of this entire thing. I'm liking the lighting. The lighting is so good. And if you don't look very closely, just like keep everything in your periphery, but don't really focus on anything in particular, it looks so good. It's just that when you look very hard on the clouds, you start seeing the imperfections. So it's not that bad anymore. I think this sky in particular looks a lot better than the previous one. The skybox has changed and I didn't notice the transition. It's a good sign. A bundle is wheel, pedals, base, and gear stick. 1.5. This is Fanatec, right? This is not Thrustmaster, hopefully. Yay, cookie. 1.7k USD. Goodness. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's the same here in Singapore. When the 3080 started to get released and I was looking for it, I saw that some shops had it, but they were keeping the 3080s for the full rigs, which was understandable because they would be able to sell more that way. They could sell some of their parts together with the graphics card. So they were prioritizing a full PC. I remember asking a shop that I often go to for parts if they had it available, and they asked me, is this for like just the card or an entire PC? And yeah, when I told them just the card, they said they didn't have any available. But thankfully he was like honest enough to say that they're reserving it for the full PCs at the moment. So at least he was transparent about that. Yeah, more of a business decision, I guess. Sucks for us, but makes perfect sense from a business standpoint. And if you're only starting to get into the PC scene, then that's great for you. I missed some people. Thanks for joining, guys. Idaho. Goodness. Almost missed that. Welcome back, Wild Dog. How are you? Any car, truck there? Don't see anything. Man, I missed the Freightliner Classic. This is still my overall favorite truck. And with my favorite engine sounds. Beautiful. The epitome of American trucking, in my view. T300 RS is a good one. T300 RS GT. What's the difference between those? The pedals only? Does it come with a shifter already? Or is that a separate thing? Hey, Cookie, thanks. Appreciate that. Did that appear in your screen as well? Thanks for becoming a patron. Appreciate it. Nice to see those alerts. I just entered into the discussion. Like, what would I replace my wheel with if it ever breaks? But no plans on replacing it. Not right now, especially. I just spent a lot because the Asus ladies came back to me. And now I had to pay for the monitors. It should be arriving today, actually. So I bought 2 monitors, so I definitely don't have funds for that. So it looks like I'll be assembling again on the weekend. I love Idaho. Nice. So that means I would have 5 monitors now. No, I'll be returning the 2 that I loaned. This one that I'm using, the main one. And this one where OBS is, I'll be returning. But they let me keep 1. And they gave me a discount on the 2 that I bought. So, all in all, great deal. It only comes with 2 pedals? Yuck! No clutch. No brake. That would be dangerous. If you step up to a Thrustmaster wheel, you have to start racing. Sticking to the G27 then. 2 and bad. Yikes. Okay, so I have to remember the GT then. GT edition. Shifter, no way, oh man. Almost 220 euros for the TH8A shifter, dang it. How much for the T300 RS GT? Price investment, huh? Dicks. Well, it would be the same monitor as in the video. It would just be brand new. To be honest, I'm kind of dreading the setup. As you guys know, I'm pretty bad with the hardware stuff. But it's a necessary thing. You had to pay £94 for the pedals. Everything else is cheap compared to that. Well, I didn't exactly pay for it in money. I paid for it in service or in product, in kind. So yeah, the monitors are expensive if you look at it from that point of view. $404 USD. Oh, yikes. So I guess that's more or less... Oh crap, that's even more expensive than the Logitech wheels, huh? Okay, I have to start saving up then, in case it happens. Emergency funds kind of thing. 1,200 euros, the cheapest one. Fanatec Direct Drive. Who needs that one anyway, right? We have to convince ourselves that we don't need it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very expensive hobby. Well, it actually already is. But it will be even more so. €400. Yeah, a bit pricey, but I think I can save up for that eventually. Yeah, that would be great. Does Fanatec not have a Singapore branch? Maybe I have to start reaching out. Nah. Thrustmaster, maybe. If Thrustmaster is partnered with SCS, that might be more feasible. And if it's as good as you guys are advertising it, then I have no reservations about trying it out and using it as my main rig, as my main device. 83 for the pedals, 149 for the gear stick. Yikes. We'll never afford any new hardware if you're playing stupid fishing game. Why? Why does it cost you when you play that fishing game? Move out into an igloo or something. Is it like a pay to play kind of thing? Pay to win? What's the term they use? Full simulator rig. Goodness. Yeah. That one, as much as I would like, I don't have enough space here at home. Space would be the hard constraint. Unless they're willing to sponsor a flat for me as well. All-inclusive sponsorship. Why not? Racing Motion Platform V3. The racing term there cuts me out already. Pass. Clumsy Master Wheels. Patented, all rights reserved. Yeah. Occasionally using the Clumsy Master Wheels would give you some random fidgeting when you least expect it. Sudden fidgeting like that. Why not? Sounds clumsy enough. Exactly. That wouldn't fit here. Sponsorship for a new home. Now that would be something. This feels like Project Next Gen right now, in a good way. I like the colors. And it's not like overexposed anywhere or too dark anywhere. Just the right balance. I like this. In the skies, you don't really notice that the pixelation, even if you look a bit harder. Cool. So it looks like even the skyboxes have varying qualities. Some of them are way too obviously pixelated. Low res. Idaho City, have we crossed? Oh yeah, I didn't notice yeah. We did cross over to Idaho a while ago. We're actually near Boise already. That was fast. What time is it anyway? We should have a clock here. An analog clock, I think. If I remember correctly. Well, we don't have an analog clock, but we should have a clock. Am I missing the clock, guys? Maybe I'm mixing it up with the W900. Shouldn't we have one there? I can't see it. You let me know. Pay to win game. Ah, I see. Yeah, that can really hook you in those kinds of games. 12 plus years. Wow, you're a dedicated fisher. Dedicated fisherman. Real brands, I guess, are a mixture of the real company mods from, I forgot his name, the one who, it's in the mods list. Look for the real company mod there. So that one, and I guess his illustrators are also adding realistic companies. Forgetting we have a Rocky Mountain double here. That's okay, it's pretty harmless for straight roads. Have a good night, Babaw. 4 a.m. My goodness, thanks for staying up late. Appreciate it. Catch you in Discord, man. Have a great weekend. I do enjoy those as well. The fictional companies don't really... There is something definitely a plus for real companies, so I definitely prefer that. But the fictional companies for me, they're not that bad as long as the lettering, as long as it still looks real, you know, it looks like it could be a real company. But there are some cases, I think, for the older companies in particular, they look too, like, it's doubtful that a company would have a logo like that, or a lettering like that, or the look is not so believable for me. That's when it breaks immersion for me. Not for the fictional company itself, but the design of the fictional company. With the later DLCs that SCS has been releasing, the new companies are more believable. Like, I remember, what was that? Is it the Rosmark in ATS 2? Was that added in the Baltic DLC? That looks very believable for me. And especially as a guy who is not really familiar with European brands, if you just fed me that name, I would like, oh, Rosmark, okay. I would think it's a real company. But yeah, some of the fictional ones are very bad. Like, my absolute hate is, and you guys probably know this. Maybe let's let you guess. What is my absolute hatest company in the base game without any mods? I guess it's not really a company, because it's a company, but you can't take jobs from it. Yeah, Scotsman got it. That's the one. That's my absolute hatest company here in the game. It looks so fake. It looks so fake. Like, it's something that someone would like create out of PowerPoint. Put a circle here, put the echo lettering, and it's done. Like, oh, I don't know. I hate it. That's why when I look for a real company mod, it's you. It's you I hate. Yeah, so when I look for a real company mod, that's the first company that I really look forward to replacing. Man, I like these mirrors. So nice to see that when you're driving on a curvy road and you're seeing that your trailer is going along the same lines as you are, not going beyond any of the markers. Feels so pro. That one. Yeah, that looks so nice. 35 here. Slow down a bit. Ika. Yeah, the Ika is not so bad for me. I mean, everyone knows what it's for. And it's not exactly looking like the real thing, but it's, I guess, a bit close enough. It's pretty believable in a way. But yeah, the echo really is bad. Disney Plus, yes. I'm starting to get ads now for Disney Plus because it's releasing when? Next week? 24th, I think, here in Singapore. So yeah, I've started to get ads. I will be getting it for sure. For how long I'll keep it, it depends on what's shown. Looking forward to finally being able to watch Mandalorian though. I've heard so many good things about it. There are 2 seasons now, right? Will there be a season 3? Mandalorian and WandaVision are the 2 shows that I would like to watch. The other one, what was that? The Hawk and Bucky or something? I'm not so keen on that yet, but maybe I haven't really seen any trailers. They're just not my favorite characters. But maybe there's a good storyline and great like rapport between the 2. Maybe I will change my mind when I see something. And is that showing already? When is that coming out? I'm sure Scotsman should know. WandaVision's really good. Nice. Who is this Flying Scotsman bot? Ban that dude. Speaking of bots, I'm starting to miss them. Where are they? Be careful what you wish for. Mandalorian will get season 3. Nice. March 19. Ah, okay, there you go. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Does it look good? Are you guys looking forward to it? Because in the Captain America movies, those characters, well, in the Marvel movies, those characters were not really like the characters that I were so much interested in. Like Wanda and Vision, yes, definitely. But those 2, not so much. Maybe that will change. Have to convince Jack to get it. So you get your commission, I guess. Man, that's dark. Looks quite real though, doesn't it? Very nice. Muppet Show comes out tomorrow. Oh, we'll finally be able to see Jack and Alex in action. Or is that a different Muppet Show? Cancelled before joining. Ah, yeah. Well, she got fired, didn't she? She'll not be making a comeback on season 3 anymore. I saw the articles about that. Stadler and Waldorf, yes, Stadler and Waldorf, exactly. Thanks for following, guys. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to join chat, join the motley crew here. Just be careful of that Flying Scotsman guy. He'll try to sell you Disney Plus, among other Disney stuff. He needs more train DLC, so he has to earn a commission. Those lamps, they still look great, don't they? They like the proper old school lighting. The uneven lighting looks so nice. The flares look good at night. I like it. Wanna buy Disney Plus? Bye. The old one. Ah, I didn't know that was Disney. Or is that Fox? Or what is it? Well, Disney owns everything now anyway, so I guess. They even own Scotsman now. You're supposed to be advertising the side panel. I don't think that has a commission. Yeah, it's all the same anyway. It's all Disney. Oh, Jake brakes. Stop. Thank you. Let's sleep here for the night and I can also gas up. Hopefully that has been made into a proper chevron. There you go. Although the V does kind of look very out of place, doesn't it? It looks like an exaggerated V in this case. In some cases it's more natural. You have Disney Plus already, nice. Oh, no commission there, man. Now I am a bit hesitant. I think I'll get myself stuck here. And someone was breathing down my trailer's neck at the back, looks like. Wasn't me. Okay, there you go. Nice echo there. Should hear again the signature sound fixes stuff. There you go. And the nice startup sequence of the truck as we let go of this. Perfect. I missed that. What is this one? I guess that's also real. Whiners. Catch and go. I haven't seen that before. Now this is going to be the problem, I think. Yikes! This looks bad. You and your dear wife like to watch Dr. Pool and some other vet stuff. That's on Disney Plus. Nice. Maybe I'll also find something that Mrs. Clumsy likes there, and we'll get to keep it. I wish there was a free trial though. But I guess with how popular it is, they don't need a free trial. They know that it will be selling off. Yeah, looks like we'll have to reverse here, guys, which is going to be very bad. Some hazard lights in. That's what I was afraid of. That trailer is running away from me. Bye, trailer. He might be a bit stuck. Hey, Tesla. Yeah, he's been waiting for you. How have you been? Long time. We might be just a tad stuck, guys. Just a tad. Some documentaries about wildlife and nature in general. Any K-dramas in Disney Plus? No K-dramas, no win. No buy. Can we force it maybe? I do like the sounds, but I don't like getting stuck this way. Preemptive cheating! Oh, you guys know what's going to happen already. Nah, we'll make our way through. Maybe. We'll see. I will try my best not to cheat. I think my best will not be enough. Oh! Get out, get out! do they make these gas stations so skimpy? I guess this wasn't built for trucks. Ooh, that was noisy. Perfect. I thought we were almost out. AV lawnmower engine? Of course not. It's a DD. How are you? Looks like I'm hitting something there at the back. Not really. Oh yeah, that one. Crisscrossing my trailer, I think, is the problem. So if we can align that, then I might be able to reverse something like so. There. A bit of an out. Progress. Now the problem is, how the heck do we turn around? Is it a dead end here? No, it looks like you can go around here. Let's see. Apparently this is not even a rest area. Woo-hoo. It looks like it's a viewpoint. Where? Oh yeah, we're out. Nice. Okay, I'm happy. But yeah, it's not a rest area, dang it. I was hoping to get some daytime in here. Okay, that's fine. Keep going. Loving the 140 beta so far. Oh, you tried it. Nice. It's great to hear. I love the lighting. Oy. Ooh, no cheating. Just a bit of third-person help. Interesting reflections here. Not sure where those lights are coming from. Maybe from the other side, huh? Interesting. Very nice reflections, actually. I like it. They're much more pronounced at night, which makes sense. I made it out, yeah, I'm surprised myself. Snow runner without the snow. That sure sounds like a proper description. There we go. Speed up a bit. Good morning, adventurer. Sorry for the late reply. I was a bit busy. How are you? Telling Jon Ruda. Nothing happened. We just messed up the flares a bit, and now maybe the front bumper has disappeared somewhere down the road. Left at the chevron. Oh, I like the look of this. This looks like a horror movie, doesn't it? I like how it looks, but I don't like looking like this. That doesn't make sense. It's realistic looking, but I don't like it. Maybe that's the way. There you go. We stop there, I guess. That's what the sign said. Can hardly see the road, actually. There's a motel here, but it's not technically a rest area. I guess we wouldn't be able to squeeze ourselves in there. Okay, let's continue then. major lag at junctions. That might have something to do with the flares, the lighting, and whatnot. Junctions in general have been a cause for lag, even in older versions, but maybe much more now if those lights converge. Because I saw some people getting problems when they have headlights on. So maybe when you have lots of headlights, something can get limited on the GPU maybe. You might have to tone down some settings if you don't like those slowdowns. I think there are some specific light settings that you can turn down. Copyright strike. No, that's cheating. Copywriting that statement. Some fog. Oh yeah, that's true. Missing the fog. Skynet's reshade. Ooh. I don't think I've tried that before. Is that the one I posted about? The one I can't try because I'm using NPI. Hey, yes. Great to hear. How am I steering the truck? Yeah, G27 steering wheel. I'm gonna buy junk side panel. I'll add a rule, Nightbot, to ban those guys who are pitching for sales. Well, I don't think it works with NPI because it disables NPI when you have any reshade. So NPI and reshade are not compatible with each other. At least with the current settings in NPI, they would cancel each other out, I think. Wanna be famous? That's the one, yeah. Seems the bots got fed up finally. Wonder when they'll be back. One guy in the game chat have fought a fish over 25 minutes now. My goodness. Is that on PC? The pay-to-win games I'm more familiar with are more on mobile platform. The ones that are free but you can pay for stuff to get an edge. Junctions have been because of some graphic setting, but it's intermittent. Yeah, I also don't have a clear explanation why the junctions lag generally, but I guess it's because there are many objects getting rendered in a junction, like all the corners of the different buildings in each corner, and especially the different AI that converge and all that involves. I guess all of those factors contribute to the possible slowdown. And then now, in addition, these light flares, these lighting changes that can cause additional lag depending on your settings. Ruda's 389 sold. Yeah. I'm not willing to remove NPI though. But yes, I'll have a look at the photo. Thanks. Improve textures. I don't think it should. I mean, if it's the improved textures, you should have had the same problem even in the older version. I don't think they increased the texture size. They probably just tweaked like the brightness, the saturation or something, so that they're compatible with the new lighting. Although I don't really have any evidence of that, that's just me thinking aloud. Because when they said with the lighting update, generally speaking, what their message is, they don't want to alienate the members of the community with lower end PCs. So they're trying to keep it as harmless as possible, this lighting update. And increasing the texture size across the board would have a big impact for those with limited VRAM for the graphics card, I can imagine. So I don't think they'll do that. Heck, even the skyboxes, they couldn't give a higher quality. So maybe not that one. But the lighting, I think it's more on the lens flares, or however that's called. Or reflections, maybe. That might be it. Hey Thor! How are things, man? Thanks for the message. Where have you been trucking? Thanks for the raid. Welcome everyone. Yeah, it's a very considerate move from SCS. They don't want to lose part of their community. At least not that fast. Maybe they'll gradually increase the graphics, but shouldn't be that sudden. Actually, and it's a bit funny, but I got this lesson, this very nice message from a K-drama. For those of you guys who watch K-drama, Startup, it's a very nice series. Highly recommend it. And one of the lines there really hit me, because these days it's all about automation, right? Automation is the in thing, and the problem about automation is it replaces people with those jobs. And like before, I've always just resigned to that fact that it's inevitable. It's just the way it is. As we implement automation, jobs will get phased out, and people will have to find new jobs to focus on. And although that's true, the aspect that I didn't realize before, and this is what I realized when watching that series, they highlighted it, is like the rate of change is also a very important factor. Like, yes, it's true, automation will come in, people's jobs will get replaced, but the rate at which that happens, it has to be a gradual thing. It can't be like 0 to 1 in one go, like everything fully automated, because we have to give ample time for the people to adjust. Yes, we say people should adjust, but it's not as easy as it sounds, right? Like your entire livelihood, your entire career based on an industry, and suddenly that industry is getting automated and doesn't need you anymore. So the rate of change of that automation, how far ahead or how fast that comes in, plays a huge factor. So it's not only about being as efficient as possible or as optimized as possible, because if that's the case, then automation should be as fast implemented as it can be. But it's also about the human factor, which is a great point of view, like a balance between the two. Because like in that show, there was a scene, like Startup is the name of the series, so it's about startups that are focusing on AI for automation. And at the other side of this battle were the workers, the unions, whose jobs were getting lost because of that. And so their points of view were colliding. And then that middle point is like putting automation in, but at a steady pace, so that people can just have the proper like horizon in place. And it's just like eye-opening for me. It's a good perspective. So yes, apparently you learn some stuff when you watch things. Cool. Thanks for another raid, Thor. How did that work? Appreciate that. Double raid. Massive factories pulling out of a town that has relied on it for years. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The rate of change has to be gradual as possible. So a balance between those two parties is the ideal thing. It's such a good perspective. It's something I haven't thought of before. I guess automation is inevitable, but let's give people a chance, right? Let's make it steady. Let's make it like step by step. Oh, I love that purr. Low rev purr of the engine. Got chills again. Have we passed through a rest area? Haven't seen one yet. And where's the darn clock? I still can't see the clock. Oh, that's the one. Lower dial. Someone must have replied already and I missed it, sorry. But it looks like it's what? 3:45? Yeah, it's the clock, definitely. So the dials on the right, the second row, the single dial in there. 3:45, 3:47 a.m. I guess we could just wait it out then. It's going to be sunrise soon anyway. We're not really talking about driving time here. Driving time, I said the magic words. Q, Jack. What's driving time again? How do you calculate that? I think I still have trouble calculating it. Do we have to stop? Yes, we do. Way station is on the left. A bit weird layout. Humans are just a number, yeah, and that's what that point of view is trying to really avoid. Should have to include the human factor in there. Not again. That's so nice though. I wish we could implement that eventually here. A proper working tachometer. There have been mods before which tried to implement that. Some tried to implement it visually, like just the animation. But I remember there was a mod which tried to implement it from a functional point of view, like it really counts your driving time. The problem is you had to have your console on, as in mini console, G Minicon 1, because it would list there the times. So I guess what it does is it like adds messages to the log about your driving time and when you run out, when you have to rest. But you have to open the console or have the mini console shown to get visibility on that. But if that could be done from the console point of view, then ideally, would it be that far off in implementing that in a third-party app, like because we have an SDK, right? And the sim can spit out variables to external programs, which is like how we have this overlay here. So if we can have something that simply times when you start the engine, the timer starts, and then based on the time that's elapsing inside the sim, so even if it's an accelerated time, it would be able to count that. And when the time runs out, let's say I have to know, like, let's say 8 hours or 4 hours. I'm trying to remember Jack's explanation. So this external program reading off the SDK, reading off the telemetry from the sim, would be able to see, would be able to detect when a truck engine starts. Like, let me make an example. This telemetry, this overlay, is able to detect when an engine is on or off, because if I turn off the engine, the overlay should close, I think. Yeah, exactly. The gear disappears, right? And when I turn it on, it goes back up. So there is a flag, there is a variable which says, is the truck started or not? Is the engine on or off? So that can be measured. Although if drive time is something about when the truck is actually moving, then maybe it can be measured based on speed. When the speed is more than 0, then that means the truck is moving. And that's when the countdown can continue. And if the countdown starts because of that, we have visibility on the time because we have this elapsed time right now, right? So we should be able to know when that time is reached based on the variables we're getting. So from there, we should be able to say, oh, it's time to rest. And then how long you rest. That might be an interesting side project. So you don't need the mini console, but you just need like an overlay like this, or a third-party app like VT-Log. I mean, I can start to think about how to code that in actually. It looks like a fairly simple logic as long as I understand the rules. Might be interesting. Hey, thanks for the raid, Harley. 28 kg Luga? Is that a fish? I don't know anything about fish. Congrats though. You're hooked. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. There we go. Finally the sun showing itself. I thought it would hang. For a second there I thought it would crash. Thanks for following, guys. Welcome to the channel. Thanks, Harley. Appreciate that. Appreciate the raid and the follow. Oh, that looks so real. My goodness, that lighting. Only thing that's left to do is remove the blur because the blur is a bit artificial looking. How about that for reflection? I think that one you can't deny how amazing it looks. My goodness. Tachometer. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure if in the US it's the same. Maybe they have different rules or a different device. Only if the truck is moving, I see. So it's the speed then. What if a truck is moving but the engine is off? Is that counted? Like if the if the truck's engine is off but it's rolling downhill, is that counted as drive time? Because that would depend how you code it. Do you have to check if the engine is on and moving? If the truck is moving? Or just the truck is moving? The mind of a software engineer. Have to go through all the if statements. That lighting looks different now, probably because of the sun. Hey Wolf, thanks for joining. Highway Killer already at 4.0. What do you mean? If it's compatible with 1.40? It should be. It's part of the update, but I don't think it received any of the major updates yet. The new parts and whatnot. It's only for compatibility, I think. Thanks, Harley. Appreciate that. Glad you found me here on Twitch as well. Thanks for joining. Stay here. Okay. Drive time is calculated over 2 weeks, so some days you can drive more but have to make up for it another day by driving less. Yeah, that's when it gets complicated. It's a bit of a hassle. You'll have to store those variables somewhere. So even if the sim closes, I guess anyway you have to do that. Yeah, you have to save it somewhere external so it's not relying on when the sim is open or not. Screenshot. Yeah. If it was at version 4.0 already before the minor update. I don't know. I also am not familiar with the versions. JBX and PNG. Well, PNG is a whole different controversy, can we call it? Let's talk about that in a bit. What you guys have heard. JBX is continuing. Yeah, he has his own style of visuals and a lot of people are liking that. Very vibrant, very photo-esque look. So there will still be fans of JBX, and he has a lot of high quality skyboxes which are optimized. So there will still definitely be JBX customers, so it's here to stay. PNG, Project Next Gen, Photorealistic Experience, the paid version, will remain paid. There will be a final 1.0 version coming out. My goodness, the traffic here reminds me of Manila. It feels familiar. So there will be a Project Next Gen 1.0 update. That will be the last one for those who have gotten it. And then he will create another project, a different project, Project Next Gen something else, which is going to be a different payment. And then he will update that separately. So yeah, basically we get one last update if you paid for it, and then you have to pay again to get the further updates. Standard 8x4 chassis. Maybe he added some stuff already. Only if you're accelerating for more than 10 to 20 seconds. That's why trucks don't move 10 feet in traffic, as it will count as minus 1 minute. I see. So like they don't want to like move bit by bit. They want to move when it's really going to move, so that it's not counted. I see. So they can move just very small, but not too much. That was only textures. The Project Next Gen 1.0 I think would be textures, if I remember correctly. Remind me guys if you've seen the post as well. I think it will be mainly textures. I'm not sure if he's pushing through with the weather anymore with 1.40 in the game. I'm not sure if he's planning to add skyboxes as well. Maybe the same weather but new skyboxes maybe. This is Jon Ruda's Classic, yes. JBaby2801, thanks for joining. It's now compatible with 1.40 beta, as long as you download the new files and move them to your mod folder. Lesson learned the hard way. Waiting for the day they add ray tracing. Might be a far, very, very far day away. That guy was in a rush. You can see. That van was pissed off. Very realistic behavior though. Why is this guy stopping? Aren't they green? No, don't even think about blocking me. This guy is such a slowpoke. That's what happens when you have road rage. You tend to ignore some of the lines. Treat them more like decoration. There you go. Have you guys ever been in a situation when you had road rage? I think everyone who's driving has been in one. I for sure have. Although still a bit passive aggressive, but still classified as road rage, I think. There you go. 60 miles. Beautiful views. I love the AI. Road is road. Road rage every day. Sounds legit. That loud enough for you guys? Woo. Jake brake all the way. Surprised how many minutes you can lose in traffic. Had to pull off and find a rest area. I see. If it's that crawling type of thing, you have like 10 to 20 seconds. Yeah. If you go beyond, if you reach 10 seconds, counts as 1 minute. Here we go again with the drive time. Such a complicated thing. Is it the same with the US? Anyone familiar with the US driving time rules? My goodness, sounds so convoluted. You need 2 calculators to make it work. Oh, this looks so good. Let's take a photo of this. After that guy passes, this one. You're the reason for road rage all the time. What's a sixpence? Isn't that the band? On the Richer? Is that my time? Is that a my generation kind of joke? Sorry. That was a famous band back in my day. I can take that. Yeah, what does a sixpence mean? Because there was a band called Sixpence None the Richer. I guess that stands for something. Where are we anyway? Somewhere north of Idaho, I imagine. We're actually pretty close now. Wow, have we crossed over to Washington? Maybe almost there. Nice. Farm sim hype. You guys getting any itch for getting back into farm sim? Getting back into those pellets maybe? Animal hospitals. Sometimes I think about going back to farm sim. Though it's a lot of work. The flat cap that Angus Young in AC/DC uses. What is that? Like a beret? Have I been in this road before? Maybe. That's the advantage of having goldfish memory. It all feels like a brand new experience each time. It's a flat cap. Nailed it. What the heck is a flat cap? Oh, the only flat cap I know is a beret. Or a chef's hat. That's flat, right? Work time rules. After 6 hours, you have to take a break. but it runs alongside driving time. My goodness. But and how does that countdown work, that work time? As soon as you enter your truck? Regardless if it's engine on, off, if it's moving or not. That might be easier. Maybe implementing driving time is a bit complex, but work time is maybe a good stepping stone, a good first step to have something at least. Is what it's called. Nice. Spokane. There you go. You look at that. We're actually going to get to finish a job here. I can finally contribute to the VTC. Who's in the leaderboards right now? It's a nice looking trailer. So what are you guys watching these days? Because I expect I'll be able to finish Homeland already by today. Need something to watch again afterwards. I guess I can continue Billions. It's not that good anymore though, this latest season. Not that engaging for me, unlike the first few seasons. The first few seasons of Billions actually made it to the top of my list. Near the top, not the top of course, because you guys all know what the top is. I don't think that will ever change. Yeah, this latest one not so good. I think it also is unfinished, this Billions latest season, because of the pandemic. I think they had to stop filming or something, if I understood correctly. Yeah, Discord, welcome to everyone. There is a Cool Kids Club channel that is exclusive for subs, but that's one channel. You still get access to all of the other ones everyone has. You finally beat him? Oh, I think Alex, you have to replace your batteries. Slowing down there. Cheater. He even got thanked. Oh, that hurts. Why didn't I see us pass through? Oh, that's the one I hate. Yes. So inside looks vibrant, looks middle of day, looks midday, proper midday kind of vibe, but once you go outside, yeah, it's a lot more dull. Subdued. I guess that's a very challenging thing for developers, finding that right auto exposure balance. I wonder how other games do it. Like in Flight Sim, I don't really notice that so much. That like sudden exposure difference. And I mean in Flight Sim, you could get so much varied exposures, right? And varied brightness. Like outside would be super bright, but inside would be dark because it's the cockpit. So you would get the same like varying levels inside because you have like a cockpit as well. And there the problem might even be more pronounced because you're atop the skies, you're clear of the clouds, so it's you and the sun face to face. So that kind of problem I imagine is also there how did they make that work? Might be good to use as a best practice, although I guess the implementation could also be different because they're working with different engines. But maybe the concepts can be utilized at least. Interesting how that all works. Rumble grumble. 1 year difference showing. What, 21 and 22? It's the difference. It's the difference. No old guy jokes today. At least not yet. Catching you. I'm sure you guys will gain your lead soon enough. Gain back your 1 year lead. I'm just ahead by a few months. 140 beta, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, still some tweaks needed though. We'll come back to so. Not quite there yet, but getting close. By end of Feb, maybe. We'll see. They are experienced enough to know not to give an exact date until they're 100% ready. Hey King Matthew. Depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a chill driving game with trucking elements, spending hours on the road, sightseeing, driving, I couldn't recommend it more. But if you're looking for some adrenaline pumping action, this might not be the game. It's not a hardcore truck simulator either. So if you are a trucker or if you know the way it works, I personally don't, but others do, you might want for more. That's why I would term it more as a driving game with trucking elements than a full-blown truck simulator. But yeah, for me as an outsider, as someone who doesn't really know trucking in real life, it's great. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thanks for joining. And if you're going to buy it, I would recommend waiting for a Steam sale, because the base game oftentimes goes down as low as like $5. I think, what is the default price? 20? Like almost all the Steam sales, I think it goes down to $5. The base game at least. And then the map DLCs, there are DLCs, like for example in the US, each state has its own map DLC. So in the base game you only get 3 states, and then the rest of the states, which there are 5. Do we have 5 map DLCs now? So each of those have their own DLCs, have their own price. Did I just miss my turn? I think I might have. I was planning to turn here actually, but this is actually a different establishment already, I think. That might be a problem. Or maybe we can still make it work. We'll see. If this barrier goes up, that is. Might be an invisible wall though. And there's a car just against our bats there. Sorry, car. Yeah, that's a good guideline. Most of the other map DLCs are discounted as well, except for the latest one. Push! Adios, Lincoln. Is that the car? Sorry. Oh, and now it rains. At least we get some wiper action in here. Oh wow, that's a nice sound. Is this Zeemod's wiper sounds? That is quite nice, I like it. First time I've heard it, I think. Zeemod's wipers indeed. I like. Yeah, they do sound natural. They have that grinding sound as well against the glass. I like it. And they seem random, don't they? It's not the same squeaking every time, I think. Let's see. It seems to vary. Yeah, that time there was no squeak. Or at least each wipe has a different sound. Maybe it repeats every 3 or 4 times, but not every time, thankfully. Otherwise it would be too repetitive. It would be too artificial sounding. Train in front. Oh, I found a U-turn slot. Time for some warning signals. Close your eyes, guys. Clear. Nice. Nothing happened. On our way. The sky for rain actually looks quite nice, huh? It looks like bad weather, the lighting in general. The water drops are still not very realistic, they're too blobby. I actually like the rain effects from Project Next Gen when it comes to the water droplets. They're very small, they're very realistic looking. This one looks more like gelish, like gel rather than water. But I guess there are also some performance considerations. Maybe those smaller blobs are heavier on the frames or something. Where is that left turn? Is it this one? It's this one. Dang it. Doesn't look like an intersection. Telemetry. So that's from the ETS2 telemetry server, but I made my own skin. It's private at the moment. I don't see that though. I don't see that on my screen. That's only for you guys. Only the viewers can see it. Sure thing, Matthew. Have a good one. Thanks for dropping by, and yeah, let us know if you decide on getting it, and hope you enjoy if you do, because we surely are. Let's hear that wiper one last time. So nice. I like it. I heard when I joined Zeemod's stream a while ago, he was checking the interior sounds of the Scania, and he also had the wiper sounds. It sounded very good as well. We made it, and just in time for the stream as well. I'll take that. Sim dashboard telemetry app on mobile devices. Yeah. If you have a separate tablet, that's perfect. 100K, wow. Nice. What did we deliver anyway? Dry milk. What is that? Like powdered milk? Or is that different? So job done and logged. More power to Clumsy Trucking VTC. 31.52, nice. Hello, Jon Ruda. Cool. And that's actually interesting because I used a very heavy, a very powerful engine here. I think this is the 619 horsepower DD engine. I think. Let's go and drop by on the mechanic shop. We still have a few minutes left. Just fiddle around with the config a bit. I was trying something out. That was why I was late to the stream. I was trying to put my own logo in some of the customizable parts here in the truck, but it didn't blend well. So I decided against it in the end. By the way, did you guys notice our paint job? We actually have the CG logo in there, and even the Clumsy Geek at the side. That's something that Jon Ruda adds as a customizable thing. You can add like a customizable truck company logo. Thanks to Lucy for telling me about that. And then I found that there are more parts that you can configure. You can put your own logo in. I think there are mud flaps. There's like a, what's that? Like that film atop the windshield? That like gray barrier, that translucent thing. Sunshade or something. Sticker, tint, get what I mean. That's something you can customize as well. And then there's the thing in the hood, like here in front in the hood. You can put your own logo. That's what I was trying to try out, but it looked a bit artificial. I was not sure how to make it more like metallic, so I'll have to fiddle around with that a bit more. It has potential, but it doesn't work quite well yet. Interior hands driver mod. Yeah, I've heard people praising that, and I've seen videos about it. Dang it, I've seen videos about it. It doesn't appeal to me that much, although I get that it's nice in some way, and I know some people really like it. Yeah, maybe you can check it. Do you guys like it? Because we can try it out. Personally, I'm not so into it, but maybe it's more of a getting used to it kind of thing. So far, the hand animations look pretty smooth. They look much better than the crossing hands in SnowRunner, right? They seem very realistic in the hand movements department. The modeling, I think, is a bit My Summer Car-ish, but it's not that bad. Good, there you go. Yeah, so Deso is a fan of it. I think, Alex, you like it as well, right? How about the others? Have you tried the hands mod and do you like it? I think it's currently, last time I heard, 139 compatible, but 140 not yet. Not sure if that changed. So this is what I'm referring to. If I can make the dot appear, that one. Custom your company. So he has like an open definition for the truck, and you can replace the image for that one. And then I think there are also mud flaps for it. One second. Maybe that's in front and not here. Not really. I'm not sure how to make that work. I saw it, but yeah, in here you have the your text. That one is what I mean. That like grayish, the sunshade or whatnot. And then in here is what I was trying out. So I would have liked the classic here, but it's red. You can't change it. I wish it was just chrome, so it's compatible with any other truck color. But in this one, I think it's only good with the red one. But this one, your logo, this is what I changed. See, it had like a CG in there, but it doesn't look metallic. It only looks like black and white paper pasted in front of the grill. And it doesn't look quite nice. I think I have to change the color so that it's silver instead of gray. Not sure how to do that, but we'll see if I manage. Would be nice otherwise, if it blends well. For now though, we'll have to remove that. Okay. Got a bit repetitive after a while. Yeah, I think it's more of a novelty item. Something that you can enjoy for the first couple of hours, but later on it gets old, or you start like not liking it, maybe. But yeah, so far I am not into it so much. So I mean, in SnowRunner, I purposely was looking for the update. I was so happy when there was an update that removed the hands. But it's a preference kind of thing, I understand. Not my preference though, unfortunately. We'll see though. Minds can change. Yeah, really neat idea. Maybe we'll try it just to give it a go and see what people like. If you guys hear about it and see it's compatible with 1.40, please let me know in Discord. I'll give it a try and see how the others feel about it. Okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate the company as always. Had an amazing time just hanging out, driving Jon Ruda's truck with Zeemod's amazing sounds, with the beautiful scenery and lighting. So thanks. Appreciate it, guys. And catch you on Discord. Maybe I can stream again. Maybe I can stream later, actually. Because Mrs. Clumsy has somewhere to go later. If I don't have anything else to do, maybe I can stream. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. But in any case, I'll keep you posted on Discord. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Clumsy Trucking. Thanks.